not just about me. If I gotta fight for all of us, I will, but I won't let the court systems just walk over me. I won't let Jay-Z, and I won't let no one just walk over me and tell me something because y'all just saying this. I want the truth. And if we can't go to the Supreme Courts, the regular courts, to find out the truth, what are they here for?
Yeah, all right. We'll get to the legal things that you've been through, the battles.
Worlds. Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about this shit.
No project.
That's smooth under the rug.
Why?
I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
Family out tonight is a family affair. I saw your mother-in-law so proud of.
Yeah, we're going to, yeah. You see, there's no artist, let me be clear, there's no artist in this industry that's doing major numbers with these platforms.
It all kicked off with a single unforgettable moment. The night of the 2011 MTV Video Music Awards looked like pure magic. Beyoncé, glowing and flawless, unbuttoned her sparkling jacket, cradled her stomach, and announced to the world there was love growing inside. Jay-Z lit up in the crowd like he'd just won the championship, the applause shook the room, and the headlines flew across the globe. But not everyone saw a fairy tale unfolding. Weeks later, a grainy clip from an Australian talk show started making the rounds, now infamous as the folding clip. As Beyoncé sat down, her baby bump seemed to flatten in an odd, almost unnatural way. Was it just a weird camera angle? A wardrobe slip? Or, as some whispered in hushed corners of the internet, the first tiny crack in a perfectly staged image? That clip never truly died. For years, it lingered in the shadows of fan forums and conspiracy threads, a digital spark waiting for the right gust of wind to turn it into a full-on blaze. And now, over a decade later, that blaze has erupted. The spark this time? A man named Rymir Satterthwaite, a name nobody knew until recently, stepping into the spotlight with jaw-dropping claims. He says he's Jay-Z's secret son, and his bombshells didn't stop there. In his version of events, there's a shocking twist. Blue Ivy might not be Beyoncé's biological child at all. Going back to that unforgettable VMA night, one thing's clear. Beyoncé's image has never been left to chance. Every album rollout, every carefully lit photo shoot, every rare glimpse of her children has been handpicked and polished until it's flawless. Nothing about her public life has ever been accidental. That's why these new whispers cut so deep. If the foundation of her motherhood story is even slightly shaken, the fallout could be massive. We're talking about a career built on empowerment, authenticity, and an almost untouchable trust with her audience. For millions of fans, the idea that there might be a completely different version of the truth hiding in plain sight is both disturbing and dangerously tempting to believe. Enter Rymir Satterthwaite, the wild card. He paints himself as an insider wronged, the type of person who fuels locked-door conversations and late-night phone calls with claims too wild to ignore. His talk of hidden children and swapped parentage has been picked apart on forums, replayed in TikTok deep dives, and argued over on podcasts like It's the Hottest Case in Pop Culture Court. People are split. Some say he's just chasing clout. Others swear he's the one finally pulling back the curtain on music's most guarded couple. But regardless of motive, the result is the same. A once-forgotten rumor now has a fresh headline and a megaphone big enough to rattle the industry. Blue Ivy's very existence has been one of the strongest pillars holding up the Carter empire. If this new version of events were ever proven true, it wouldn't just rewrite a single chapter, it would rip the whole book apart and start from scratch. On the surface, Beyoncé's motherhood has always looked as perfect as her stage performances. Family stories, like Tina Knowles proudly talking about Blue's self-taught piano skills, her poetry, her artwork, have built the image of a prodigy being raised in a cocoon of love and luxury. Jay-Z often talks about putting time with his kids above everything else. These rare glimpses are designed to humanize them, but never open the doors too wide. And now, with Rymyr's claims and the nanny's alleged statements hovering over the narrative, those same wholesome anecdotes suddenly feel different, like perfectly curated exhibits in a museum. Polished, beautiful, but carefully hiding the rooms no one's allowed to see. And that folding bump clip? The more you look at it in 2025, the harder it is to just wave it away as a dress wrinkle or awkward posture. Back in 2011, it was just an odd moment in an otherwise glamorous night. Now, with years of hindsight and a mountain of surrounding controversy, it plays like a key piece of evidence in a long-running, slow-burning case. Even the wildest rumors were told, from controlled celebrities to dark Hollywood sacrifice theories have slipped right into this conversation, creating a climate where no claim is too outrageous to find an audience. Whether Mir's story is real or just a masterful performance, it's hitting at a time when the Carters' once impenetrable walls look thinner than ever. Their oldest allies? Distracted or fighting their own public battles. The media? Hungrier than ever for a celebrity unmasking. And as much as Beyoncé has thrived on mystery, the era of total privacy for stars is gone. Now, all it takes is one leaked text, one ex-employee ready to spill, or one wrong move in the spotlight, and a whisper can explode into a deafening roar. If you think of the Carters' public image as a grand stage show, then Blue Ivy hasn't just been a co-star. She's been the show's living proof. Proof of the partnership, the legacy, the future. But tug on that thread and the whole set starts to shake, maybe even collapse. That's why Mir's allegations paired with the nanny's reported account feel so dangerous. They're not just poking holes in a detail, they're questioning the reality of an entire act. And in the court of public opinion, image is everything. Sure, Beyoncé and Jay-Z have faced infidelity scandals, business feuds, and even that infamous elevator footage. But none of those storms hit this deep. What makes this even messier is the climate we're in, an era where fans have turned into full-blown detectives. They're rewinding old interviews, dissecting body language frame by frame, and lining up timelines like it's a criminal case file. Every red carpet clip from 2011, rewatched, every photo from that pregnancy period, pulled apart pixel by pixel. The public isn't just gossiping anymore, they're building cases. And in a world where online sleuths have toppled politicians and cracked corporate scandals, that's a dangerous spotlight for any celebrity, even the Carters. So far, Beyoncé and Jay-Z have stuck to their golden rule: never explain, never complain. It's the same strategy that's protected them for years. But in moments like this, silence cuts both ways. It can look like class and composure, or it can feel like a calculated dodge. And with more voices joining in, from so-called insiders to industry rivals who'd love to see cracks in the Carter empire, the risk of losing control over the narrative grows by the day. Now, every single sighting of Blue Ivy, whether she's at a movie premiere, on tour, or just walking down the street, gets a double reading. Fans see a gifted young woman thriving under her parents' guidance. Skeptics scan for the tiniest hint that something's off. If the story we've been fed for more than a decade isn't the full picture, what else has been hiding in plain sight? Just when it feels like we've mapped out every corner of this storm, another rumor creeps into view, the so-called missing twins theory. It's the kind of unsettling whisper that refuses to die, the one that keeps resurfacing in industry backrooms and private text chains. According to long circulating claims, Jay-Z may have fathered a set of twins years before his marriage to Beyoncé. Not a messy tabloid mix-up, not a case of mistaken identity, but actual children who've been deliberately kept off the radar. No red carpets, no Instagram cameos, no public acknowledgement at all. The whispers go even further, that their existence is locked behind airtight confidentiality agreements, backed by financial arrangements meant to erase this chapter from public life entirely. If there's truth to it, it could explain the near-militant privacy surrounding the Carter household, and why the glimpses we do get of their known children feel so staged, so perfectly curated. In Houston, the streets talk. And according to some, this theory isn't just fueled by gossip, it's fed by Jay-Z's own music. Fans have dissected his lyrics line by line, pulling out references to Two Shadows and Families I Can't Name that, in hindsight, feel strangely confessional. In an industry where loyalty is bought with NDAs and silence is worth more than gold, even the tiniest cryptic hint can send speculation into overdrive. Are we just hearing art in Jay-Z's words? Or are we catching the trail of breadcrumbs he's left behind? The public-facing Carter family story has always been airtight, almost like it's been rehearsed to perfection. Every interview, every carefully selected anecdote paints the same glossy picture. 3 children, an unbreakable family unit, and a life of jet-set normal in the middle of global superstardom. But when you zoom in, the cracks show. Some family moments are shared in full cinematic glory, while others, especially those involving the younger twins, Rumi and Sir, are hidden behind an impenetrable curtain. Is that just protective parenting? Or is it a calculated strategy to decide exactly what the world gets to know? And when? In that light, Tina Knowles starts to look less like just the doting grandmother in designer shades and more like a master gatekeeper. Her interviews are always warm, always loving, but also precise, almost surgical in what she shares. She gushes about her grandchildren's talents, yet avoids certain timelines, skips over early life details, and glides past anything that might invite the wrong questions. Is that simply media savvy? Or the polished discipline of someone who understands that even one misplaced word could spark a chain reaction they can't control? People in the industry talk about Tina Knowles like she's the Carter family's silent chess master, the one who can make a phone call and have a story vanish before the ink's even dry. If those old surrogacy whispers held any weight, Tina would have been the perfect person to bury them. She's got the credibility, the network, and the fierce maternal instinct to protect her daughter from a media-feeding frenzy. We've seen this role before, the protective matriarch who shields a dynasty. Think Kris Jenner. Think Dina Lohan. But Tina's version is more refined, more calculated. She doesn't overshare. She curates. She tells you just enough to keep the image glowing while making sure the rest never escapes the inner circle. That kind of power raises a bold question. If there were other children, other arrangements, other truths that didn't fit the brand, could Tina be the one holding the master key? The psychology here is fascinating. In one view, she's a loving grandmother fiercely guarding her family's privacy. In another, she's the architect of a decades-long narrative designed to lock away inconvenient truths. Both interpretations are believable. Both serve the same purpose, to protect the empire. But one comes with the thrill of knowing that what we're shown might be just the tip of a much deeper, more tangled iceberg. It's a choreography, every move carefully planned to keep us watching one side of the stage while something entirely different unfolds in the shadows. The stakes couldn't be bigger. The Carter brand isn't just music, it's luxury fashion, blockbuster films, sold-out world tours, and global philanthropy. It's the image of Black excellence, business mastery, and an unbreakable love story. To hit that with a scandal about hidden children or a surrogacy cover-up wouldn't just dent their reputation, it would shake one of the central pillars of modern pop culture. And if any of these whispers have truth to them, you can bet they're guarded tighter than classified files in Washington. But the industry has changed. The days when a publicist could kill a rumor with a single statement are long gone. Now social media sleuths pore over facial expressions, zoom into decades-old footage, match paparazzi travel shots to lyric drops, and connect them with leaked texts or emails. It only takes one credible leak from a former insider, one anonymous post with photos or documents, and a narrative years in the making could start unraveling in a matter of hours. That's where these rumors live, right in the tension between the Carters' perfect image and the possibility of a far messier reality. If the missing twins theory is nothing more than myth, it's still one that thrives in the blank spaces the Carters leave. But if there's truth in it, that could explain patterns of secrecy and control that have had observers scratching their heads for years. So here we are, watching, waiting. If they guard their family life this fiercely, what else could be behind those walls? Could the truth about Blue Ivy's parentage, whispers of hidden children, and the shadow of long-buried arrangements ever break into the light? Or will the empire stand tall, no matter how hard the world pushes? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications, because if this story ever cracks open, you're gonna want to be here when it does.